So welcome to my channel, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Farkas Fabiana and I'm an artist from Romania. As you can see, I'm trying to do a portrait with a child, and I also added some characters from certain animations and also some toys I added around our portrait with the boy. The style of this drawing was kind of inspired by the artist that actually passed away recently in October. His name was Drew Struzan. I apologize. Please forgive me. I don't know if I pronounced his name right, but the person really did amazing art for many movies. Basically, he did the portraits, the covers for, oh my gosh, like so many movies from Hollywood. He even did some covers for some vinyls, I think, from the 60s, some rock bands. And then later on, he started to do covers for movies. And he was very good. And so, I don't know, he just inspired me. So I said, you know what, let's just do this portrait like that. So I added around him, like I said before, some characters from Disney animations and so on, and also some toys. And in the end, it turned out pretty cool, but I still need to exercise to do portraits because the child resembles the actual child from the picture, from the photography. It's just that the nose is a little bit off, but the rest of it, it's okay. So I'm happy about that. And I also hope you will enjoy this video. It's not very long. Well, actually, it is, I think, an hour, but it's also interesting to watch. I did a couple of characters that I felt inspired to do that I kind of like. I don't know if I can talk the whole hour on this video. I will try, but I'm not sure if I can handle it. Not yet. And the rest of it is, I don't know, it's gonna be just music from time to time, and then I'm gonna talk again about me and my art and what I'm doing. And I hope you will enjoy it. Let's just continue talking about, let's just talk about the paper and the way I am using this surface that you're seeing in this video. So I use a kind of a strange maybe technique. I was inspired by two women from YouTube. They have some type of foam, a surface like a foam, and they actually put the paper on that specific foam, and then with a stapler they are are putting in place the paper on the foam surface in order for them to be able to actually do the painting in watercolor. And I adopted that technique. So, but in my case, I use a bamboo surface with a baking paper. It's kind of strange, maybe. I don't think I saw anybody doing this on internet yet, but that's what I do. I use a bamboo surface with a baking paper on it, and then I put some pins that are coming together in a package along with your bamboo surface, and then you can put in place the baking paper. After that, you're just gonna take your watercolor paper that you have in the house. Just make sure it's 100% cotton, and preferably also cold press paper, and because that's gonna give you the best results. And also don't forget to have a stapler. And when you have all these things, then you can actually put the paper in water for 5 to 6 minutes, and then let the water, oh my gosh, see, I cannot really speak for too many minutes in English. So get the paper out of the water after 5 minutes or 6 minutes and let it, drip the water from the paper. And then when it's not dripping that much anymore, you can then put it on the surface. Try to make the paper to stay as straight as possible, so it's not going to be crooked on one side, on the left or on the right. And when it's rightly put in place, you can take the stapler and start to put like around 20 staplers like you see in the video, and let that dry, let the paper to dry for a day, in my opinion. And from what I saw on other people's videos, let it dry for 1 day, let the paper dry in a natural manner, and it's gonna stretch, and it's gonna be just amazing when you will start to actually do your work, when you will start to actually paint what you need to paint. And when you start to also do the sketch the next day, try to use a pencil that is hard, not creamy, not too soft, because it's gonna smudge the whole sketch once you're gonna start to add color. And then you can see then you will get to finish the sketch, and then you can and then you can start to put the color and actually start to paint what you need to paint, right? The colors that I use is from White Nights, and I think it's a Russian or Ukrainian brand. It's very good. As you can see, the colors are just amazing, and again, cold press paper makes that possible as well. So it's not just the colors that you use, but it's also the type of paper. Like I said, cold press paper, in my opinion, is the best. Rough paper, it's okay. Hot paper, it's fine. But the cold press paper one, it's amazing, because the way the water moves on the cold press paper, it's much more convenient for you as a watercolor artist. And you can have much more time having the paper wet, and you can still play along with your brush on the paper and move the colors and the water all over the paper than on hot press paper, because on hot press paper, like in a couple of minutes, seconds, the paper and the color starts to get very dry, and it also leaves marks. That's another thing I don't like about hot press paper, leaves marks. Like it makes things look weird on the hot press paper in certain instances. Oh my gosh, I hope I talk okay. So that's that. So yes, and the characters are things that I thought that the boy will enjoy, because he does look a lot at animations and stuff like that. And so I thought I'm gonna do also some toys and stars to make it more whimsical, as you can see in the video. Maybe next time I'm gonna talk more about how I'm using the techniques to make my art. It's the same stuff that other people are using, because like how many styles can you use when you do watercolor painting? I mean, it's the same, like wet on wet, wet on dry, glazing and all that. So I think I'm gonna talk about this maybe in the next video, I'm not sure. Maybe I should talk a little bit about myself and who I am and what I'm doing with my life and where I'm going. So I did for many years, around, I think I started from 2012. I started to do children's book illustrations, working in digital, of course, using mostly Photoshop. I did children's book illustrations for people. I worked online on different websites as a freelancer, and I did that for many years up until 2021. In the spring of 2021 I stopped doing this because I said to myself, I feel the need to grow, I feel the need for something else. And so I decided to start learning how to do more traditional art, especially watercolor art. I also like oil, I also like pastels, and probably gouache I would like to try. I do own a white color gouache that I'm gonna use at the end of this video, but I don't really have paintings done in gouache. Usually I have them done oil on canvas, and sometimes I also did some art using pencils. And for some time I am into watercolor, and I decided to stick to watercolor because it really speaks to my soul. It's what I feel connected to the most, and it's lovely. I love it, and I kind of know how to control it, I kind of learned the technique. It's just that I need some practice when it comes to draw more realistic, because I did whimsical art for many years, and I still have this desire to do whimsical art from time to time. That's why I want to open with this particular video that I'm recording and, editing and everything right now with this portrait here. I'm gonna open a new playlist on my channel, and I think I was thinking to put the title what was it, whimsical worlds and portraits, I think. So sometimes I'm gonna do just some whimsical images, and sometimes I'm gonna do maybe portraits, though they are kind of hard to do, portraits. I still need to learn that, but I want to do this, and it's gonna be maybe once a month or every few weeks or so. I'm gonna try to post on that particular playlist works that are related to a little bit of whimsicalness to them, and the rest of them I'm just gonna focus on semi-realistic, realistic art, or at least I'm trying to make it realistic, and to do more flowers and pets and fruits and stuff like that, to make them as gorgeous as I can. Wish me luck. And so, yes, that's what I did. Like in the past, I did a lot of children's books. Of course, my works are just mostly for families. That's what I did. People were paying me to do books for their children. And because of that, I also felt that it's time for me to move on, because nobody knows me, basically. My whole art is just kind of hidden from the eyes of the world, and in some cases, if not almost all cases, I couldn't really show to people my art because I was signing a contract and I didn't own any rights. And also, I don't know, I just felt like I'm in the shadows and I wanted more, I wanted to show my art to more people and not to focus so much on doing so many children's book illustrations that will never see the day of light, the light of day, something like that. I don't think it's fair towards me. So I decided to learn how to, because I also kind of got bored with doing whimsical art. Even though I still love it, I want something else from myself. I want to see, can I do this? can I learn how to be better at doing art? Because there's always place for improvement, you know. Another problem of mine is that I have this tendency to jump from one subject to the other, from one style to the other, and that can also create a lot of difficulty for an artist because the algorithm doesn't permit you to do that. And also people want to see, if somebody hits follow, right? They follow you because they want to see something that you already did, and they want to see that particular subject over and over again, you know, something similar like that. You know, if I paint one day digital art and whimsical children's books, childish imagery, then, you know, the next day I'm gonna put like a realistic portrait or something, then people will be like, what's happening, you know? I followed this person because she was doing children's book illustrations, and now she's doing portraits on canvas and oil. You know, I'm just giving you an example, and it's just not working. And now I'm just gonna focus on watercolor, and hopefully that's gonna work for me. I wanted to say other stuff as well. I mean, there are a lot of things that I could talk about, and I don't want to overwhelm you with so many things in this video, but I also need to kind of start from somewhere. You know, I need to express myself and make my voice heard, and also my life experiences and so on. Going back again to my past, so all the things that I've learned from digital to traditional, it's because I've done it by myself at home, and I tried to learn from other people on YouTube, tutorials and so on. And slowly but surely I was able to kind of create my own style, and I also started to have clients. Like I said before, most of the people were just families that wanted something personalized for their child, and that's what I did. And now I'm trying to get to more people out there in the world, and I hope I'm gonna be able to do that, and people will connect with my art. And oh my gosh, I'm saying "and" so much, so many times. Also, I could talk about a little bit what's going on in the world and what's happening. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to talk about politics. I think I just want to talk about the fact that I did so many things, and I'm still trying right now to be honest with you, I'm trying to find a job. Like literally, I'm trying to find a job, but not a regular 9-to-5 job. I'm trying to get, let's just say, projects online, and I'm trying to do different things here and there, trying to get to companies. But man, it's hard. Like nothing is happening, and I've tried so many things. One of the reasons why I also started to not want to do children's book illustrations anymore was the fact that I kind of finished with working online with people, and then I started to try to contact companies, publishing houses everywhere in the world, also in my own country, in Romania. So many people I tried to talk to, tried to connect, sending messages with my portfolio, and also calling people here and there. And also agencies. And it got to a point where I felt this is going nowhere, and my life, it's just, the time is passing by, and I cannot live like this forever. I want to do something for myself and try to create a life that I envision and do what I love, what I like. But with children's book illustrations, nothing really is happening, nothing really is working, at least for me. There are so many people out there that are doing illustrations for children's books, and also it's like a cult. Wanting to get in a publishing place like that, trying to work for a publishing house and trying to do illustrations for them and to get projects, it's almost impossible. And it's tiring to try to prove yourself to strangers that you're good at what you're doing and please pick me, So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna do YouTube and TikTok videos, and I'm gonna go on my own path and create something for myself, because trying to pull people left and right to see you, to acknowledge you, it's not working. And I think it's also the times that we are living, and I'm not saying that our times are the worst, but it's something in the air where opportunities are kind of almost none. Like, there are no opportunities. It's not happening. Okay, nothing really happens. I'm also a spiritual person, and so I also understand certain spiritual and occult knowledge when it comes to certain things about manifestation and about our life in general. But I should leave that aside and not talk about those things too much. But I am trying to do a life for myself, and I try to apply certain rules, like spiritual, metaphysical rules, but I don't think I'm applying them correctly. I also believe in karma and destiny, and I think also certain things are happening at the right time when certain constellations are happening in the sky. So I cannot really force things to happen if they don't, but I keep going forward and hope for the best. And many times you will feel defeated. Many times you will feel depressed and completely defeated, and you will crumble. And then you will put yourself back together again, and then you will try again over and over, and then you will crumble again. Trust me, so many times I felt like that, even recently, so many times, and I will feel the same again. But then, you know what? I'm gonna rise again, because that's what I do. And I guess a lot of you are strong like that, and you're gonna raise above it. Some people, well, my mother, for example, constantly tells me that from art I will not do anything. And the rest of the people in my family, they don't say these things. My partner and my in-laws are very nice to me, but my mom tends to be kind of scared of big dreams. And so she's scared for me that I'm not going to be able to do certain things and take care of myself properly if I constantly push things to happen with my art. But my art is my soul and my air. So nobody can take that away from me. And I understand that people want to help me with advice, but I don't want to do nothing else as a job or project. I don't feel the pull towards nothing except my art. So what can I do? Force myself to feel things that I don't? Try to feel things that they don't come naturally to me? People say you need to try stuff. I tried certain things to do, but nothing compares to the peace and quietness of a warm, cozy home and doing your art. Like, nothing can beat that. And people don't understand that there's also a certain peace of mind when you are in your room, in your house, doing your art. I don't like to chit-chat constantly and paying attention to strange people at work because, I don't know, they want to talk and stuff like that. I'm not into that. I don't like it. So I also need to invest time in my art to be able to actually create something for myself. How can I do that if I'm constantly being pulled left and right, doing all kinds of family emergencies or concentrating in other parts, other aspects of life? And how can I do that? How can I succeed? So in order to succeed, we need as artists to be kind of devoted, like all the way. And that means not going to certain events or parties or doing other things, responsibilities constantly in the house or with people around you, because again, those things are pulling you away from what you're trying to achieve. And especially if you are somebody like me that had a very rough childhood, a much worse teenage years, and if you are developing, of course you are, everybody in those periods, you grow as a person, you develop, right? And you also develop your nervous system and all this and your character as a person. But you have a tumultuous youth. That's gonna actually create a lot of imbalance in you. And then in your 30s, like the way I am now, I'm trying to balance my life, seeking peace, and trying to do my art, right? So that's that. We need to try to push things to happen, and it's very hard. I cannot tell you how many times I've cried, how many times I felt that nothing is happening. I don't even know right now what the future will bring, if something will change, if something will improve, if opportunities will arrive. So I'm sorry I said the word in Romanian, sau, it's in Romanian language. What I was saying, yes, so I don't know if opportunities will appear in my life. I can keep going and I can get old and nothing will happen. That's also a probability, and I'm aware of it. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to still try. I cannot, okay? Even if I try to force myself into telling to myself, oh, you know what? You can just paint every now and then. It's your hobby. You like to paint, blah, blah, blah. But you need to get a job or you need to do other things with your life. Even if I will try to tell myself these words, it will still not work, because a lot of the times I wake up and the first thing I'm thinking about, it's my career, my art, my career, my art. Okay? And it's also the personality of the person. Some people are able to find themselves and find their niche and realizing who they are, and also trying to be consistent and have a lot of discipline in them, and they succeed much more fast in life. And without consistency and discipline, this is something I'm now telling to myself, and also maybe some of you out there that are listening, if anybody is listening to my videos, you need to be consistent and to have some level of discipline, and that's gonna affect how fast someone will grow, even if it's not about art, maybe it's about other stuff. And in my case, the lack of discipline and also confusion and emotional imbalance also really affected the way I did my career up until now. So regardless, if you are in your 30s, 20s, 50s, if you still want to try it. do your thing. Why not? At some point it's gonna pay off, and even if it's not gonna really pay off financially, let's just say this, okay, because that's also a probability, unfortunately, but it's gonna fill your soul and you're gonna feel proud of yourself, and you are creating serotonin and all those beautiful, chemicals that we need to have. There's nothing more amazing than to do in life what you love. It's really fulfilling, and it's also a healing journey to do what you love. If it's painting, if it's singing, whatever it is, it's very important and healing. And also you are able then to be also a better human being, because people around you are gonna feel that you're happy, that you are a pleasant person to be around. So that's another thing. Also, I want to say I love how Fievel is looking. I'm sorry, I'm jumping from one subject to the other. That's the way I am as a person. So I love Fievel, okay? If you saw An American Tale, I think is the title. It's a animation from Disney from the 80s, I think 80s or 90s it was done. It's kind of a little bit sad story, but in the end it's okay. Spoiler alert, so it's okay in the end, but it's just so gorgeous and cute. I really like how he turned out here in this painting that I did with him. Fievel, it's the mouse that I'm doing. So yes, check that animation out if you are curious about it. I also have so many movies and animations, Disney cartoons that I saw that really emotionally made me feel things very strongly, like pain and suffering and loss and grief, but also happiness. If you remember Bambi, it was sad when he's, again, spoiler alerts, when he's losing his mother, and then the Fox and the Hound, really it was amazing. And Iron Giant, I think it's the title of this particular animation. I think it's Iron Giant. Yeah, that one is intense as well. So many intense animations that really makes you feel things to the core. Nowadays, I don't really connect with animation anymore, with the characters. I cannot feel emotions the way I did in the past. Nightmare Before Christmas, it's also emotional. And also movies, I also really enjoyed movies, and I also enjoyed them in the present time. The Never-Ending Story, again, it's one that kind of troubled me. Oh, I remember now also All Dogs Go to Heaven. Again, I apologize if I don't say correctly the titles, because I don't really quite know. I'm saying all these things the way I'm talking right now on the top of my head. I didn't check the titles on Google for this particular video. I'm just trying to talk naturally and to talk in a way that it's not very scripted. And even though I heard other people saying that you kind of need to do a script before you do all these things, sometimes yes, it's scripting, it's a little bit needed, but there are moments where you can just let yourself go and talk whatever you feel in the moment. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So yes, I was talking about how movies and animations were very good in the past, and they really made you connect and feel emotionally connected to the characters and what is happening to them. Right now, I don't really connect with anything that much like it was in the past. I mean, yes, there are things, good animation and movies today, but it's not the same like it was in the past. Maybe I'm old school like that. Maybe I'm silly or a little bit ignorant for some I don't know, but that's the way I feel, and that's what I'm going to say. Right now I'm painting, maybe you already recognized her, Dolly. No, not Dolly. Dory from Finding Nemo. And the circles that you are seeing there are basically bubbles. I sketched with the pencil some circles and then I put some liquid mask. That part, unfortunately, I cut off by mistake, I think. But there are some bubbles there and we put liquid mask, and once we ended doing the rest of the painting, in the end we will take those that substance that is dry, like a gum. It's like a gum, the texture. We're gonna take it down and it's gonna let the paper, the whiteness of the paper is gonna be there, and we're gonna just go again with the brush a little bit here and there to put some color, and it's gonna look like, you know, woohoo, it's like bubbles. also did the character, I think her name is Eve from Wall-E, and I don't know, I just resonated with her a little bit. And even though I still like Wall-E the best, but I just kind of felt, I don't know, I think, oh yeah, I think I kind of like the way she looks, the way her costume, like the robot sketch and everything, the way she is. I think I kind of like that. So I just thought to myself, let's just draw her, you know. And in the middle, it's, I don't remember his name, but it's a monster from Monsters Inc. And I did him as well. But again, Fievel Mauskevich, it's the best. In the end, I will also add some whiskers to him. And yeah, you're just gonna see how everything will look like, because I put a picture with the painting at the end of the video. And now at the end, I decided to put some sparks or stars or something using some purple. And in the left side, I will add soon with white gouache some white stars and sparks. And also I used white gouache on the eyes of the child, and I think later on I'm also adding on the eyes of the other characters, and it really gives like this nice finishing touch to our watercolor work. I just love the stars. They're so cute and innocent and so endearing in a way. So I kind of like how their faces are looking. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And in general, let me know what do you think about my art, and if you like what I did, where do you think I should improve? I'm thinking about the nose, and in general, usually, oh my gosh, usually the nose, it's kind of hard to do, but this is it, you know, this is the work, and I think it's fine. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. What should I improve? And what you would like me to do next? Maybe you have some ideas on what whimsical art I should do next time. And I thank you for being here. And see you in the next video. Bye bye.